You know what would be nice is if in PE, instead of using that time just to do like random sports that they can come up with, like dodgeball and all that and blah blah blah, what if they opted for like making PE like gym con? What if they made that like a self defense class instead? Like, right? Like, because obviously you still have to do the fundamentals, right, for self defense. Like, you're still gonna have to do cardio, you're still gonna have to do like some weightlifting and whatnot, and probably some team exercises. Like, you still have to have certain fundamentals that can still be used. But a self defense class could really save some lives. It's too many people out here just being snatched and thrown in a car, and people that don't know what to do. And then it's like, if you do want to know what to do, you have to pay someone to teach you. And why don't you want your people able to defend themselves or protect themselves? That's one of the reasons we have the amendment about guns. It falls right in line. And so, and then too, if people could probably do better with protecting themselves or using their body as a weapon, it might actually even kind of sort of save lives, because it's a once you introduce once you introduce a mechanical thing into the situation, you also leave room for mechanical error on top of human error. So yeah, guns can be a nice deterrent, but it depends on what kind of gun. It depends on the situation. It depends on how good of a shooter you are. It depends on how well you can see, and not to mention that is a lethal force. So a lot of times, um, when you pull it out, people, there's no hindsight. You know what I mean? So now you can be in jail or in court trying to explain why you used a lethal force for a situation that could have turned lethal but maybe wasn't quite lethal yet. Like, come on. Like, if they're not, there's so much, there's a lot of flaws in the system, I'll just say that. But I definitely think it would help if, one, people knew how to communicate better with folks. So that would help, right? Sense of community. But also, if there was something taught to people in between those things, like, what is the correct way to move? What is the correct way to do this? Will it stop everything? No. My grandma told me there's always going to be somebody better than you and somebody worse than you, but it can act as a deterrent. You don't have to be the best, you just don't need to be the easiest. Like, it shouldn't be so convenient that a person can just, they just feel like they could just take another human life so easily. Like, throw them in a trunk, use them for whatever. You can't tell me we weren't all walking around like goddamn Jackie Chan's and Bruce Lee's. You can't tell me that wouldn't deter or at least slow down or hinder the sheer amount of human trafficking. Like, you can't tell me if we like weren't already pre-trained to some basics like situational awareness. Because since common sense ain't common, why we ain't teaching stuff to help promote common sense, situational awareness, how to use your body and what works for it. If you're a little bigger and thicker, here's something you can do to keep yourself safe. If you're slim and more like a gym, here's some stuff that may work for you. If you fall in the middle, here's something that can work for you. You know, this is a way to protect yourself when you're weak. This is something to do. Like, there should be so much stuff in place that it would just be like an easy deterrent. All little kids should probably walk around with whistles around their neck now. Now hear me out. Do not give them that daggone whistle for when they in class or something like that. Okay, like we know kids, but you see where I'm going with this. Like, there should be something where it's like, if I hear this sound, I'm coming, I'm looking, I want to make sure there's a child that is okay. These children, they're just out here walking, and the human voice don't carry very far, so that's why you need a whistle, right? So because the whistle will carry much further than a voice. They should all be walking around with little whistles. Just little whistles. And the worst thing they're gonna do is probably be at the bus stop playing those things like a flute. But as you raise them and teach them, a deterrent, because most sneaky people like that are exactly like that. They're sneaky and they're cowardly. They want to take the easy way out, so they want the weakest, the smallest, the most vulnerable, There have been pedophiles that have straight up said, like, if your child doesn't have a father, they're going as a target. If your child has a wimpy father that be like, ooh, like they're looking at that child because they know that man's not a threat. No one's really watching and protecting the kid. But imagine how much it would change if it's like, ooh, this child knows how to flip a person, you know. And I would argue, hear me out here, after like a certain age, like a certain legal age, they should learn how to handle weapons. I know nobody wants people handling weapons, but ignorance ain't saving us. So I would say, like, let go on. They adults now. Let them learn the right way. Let them know how to protect themselves. You know, how many more countries we gonna piss off before they come over here and find a bunch of overweight, roly poly Teletubbies? You know, like, go on and let them start learning young. Learn how to use what you were born with to protect you, to protect others, to keep people safe. Because that one coward ain't ready for a whole civil disobedience worth of community. You hear me? Like, they not ready for that. Just like, oh, okay, let all the violent people get guns. For what? Like, you know what would fix that? If somebody else had a gun too. Now you in here trying to rob a bank and they all pointing a gun at your dumb ass because it's you versus a community. You go on to jail, like, or get shot up. You know what I mean? And I just feel like that's how it should go. Have a nice little self-defense class and substitution. And the this it's too much going on. We have made a culture around sex, and it is too much to the point where it's normalizing too many situations where the message is not clear. There's molestations, rape, a whole lot of creepy shit. And I mean, have y'all looked at the list? Who is your neighbor? Is too much, and it would be, and I shouldn't have to pay for a child to know how to protect themselves, or for anyone to know how to protect themselves from danger. Having safety should be like a God-given right, and we all know someone's gonna violate it. So go on and try to teach them now. Go on and put it in school. They don't need to know how to throw a dodgeball. They need to know how to protect their balls. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. They need to know how to protect their privates. They should know that they're their privates. I go through a whole damn list with my kids. Like, I go through a whole list. This is your private. This is your private. No one needs to look at it. I don't care if they say they're a doctor. If you're not in the doctor's office, nope. No one needs to take a picture of anything. Nope. Not a doctor, not nobody. Like, there's no need for that. Like, you go in the bathroom, privacy. No touching, no looking. There's no reason to look either. Like, it's yours. Just go and get your clothes on and go, you know? Like, that ain't called for. Like, I try to go through the whole shebang. But you know what would help that? Having that same type of protectiveness and safety taught in school. Like, because it's too much. And emphasizing no. You know, that should be part of the self-defense class. No. I said no. The fact that our society has become garbage to the point where I have to yell fire instead of help. Are you fucking serious? But we're a God-fearing country, though. How are we a God-fearing country, but the literal yell of help, come save me, will be blatantly ignored? Nah. So yeah, no. Go on, have them in school. Let them do you know, they can do their fun little games, but go on and incorporate them self-defense classes. And then when they're adults, um, of legal age, they should learn some weaponry and how to handle tools, how to handle tools. You know, that should be right on in there. And yeah, that should be right on in there. Honestly, like, that should be right there. Learn how to handle sharp objects so you don't just chop your finger off. Because a lot of people, when they grab a knife to defend themselves, they do not hold the knife properly. When they cut, they don't cut stuff properly. Like boxes, like, you end up chopping your leg off or something, or nicking an artery if you don't hold stuff in the right way. So if that's just normal living, imagine you're trying to protect yourself and you don't know what to do. And I mean, yeah, you could argue, oh, that's teaching the bad people too. Well, there's always more good than bad. And most of us have common sense on what that is and what it looks like. Most of us, hey, don't bother me, I won't bother you. So if anyone gets the idea, it's gonna be like, hey, it's us and then there's you. Like, it'll balance itself out. It's gonna balance itself out, cause ain't no way. And then, like I said, guns next. Practice your guns, and that's not even just against people. It's for hunting too, so you can know how to go out there and get something to eat. Too many people walking around uneducated about guns, gossiping and like little schoolgirls. Well, look at my new gun, and don't know how to use it. Don't know how to shoot it. Don't know how the gun has a kickback, and you can really mess your shoulder up. I remember being took shooting, and one of the first things they told me, because I think I was shooting a shotgun this time, because we were shooting different guns, but this particular gun was a shotgun, and they were like, okay, you need to brace yourself. They warned me about the kickback. We were just out there shooting bottles, and pooh, sure enough, kickback. I'm glad I braced my shoulder, because you know what I didn't want to do? I didn't want to fuck around and find out. I believe you. I believe you. So, yeah, anyway, that's just one of the classes I think they should use and how I think they should use it. Um, I don't really like. I just think it's great. I think everyone should know how to protect themselves, protect people around them, not be a liability, like to the best of your ability, and also like it's good for your physical health. Once you see your body can do some really cool things, maybe you're gonna be more prone to wanting to take care of it. Like once you see like, oh wow, I can do this. That's crazy. That's amazing. Like, what else good things I can do? Like, I don't want to tarnish this. I don't want to be out here making it more difficult. And if one could argue too, if everyone's running around like strong and healthy and able to protect themselves, you would almost, I don't know, be incentivized maybe to stay healthier. Like I don't know. Like to me, I just think it would be nice. It would be nice. I know you have that risk, like, oh, you're teaching the bad people too, but I still think bad people can only do what good people allow them to do. This whole sitting around, like, ooh, I see it, but I'm not gonna do it. Why wouldn't you say something or help so you can be next? You're just gonna keep letting them, destroy your community? Like, but anyway, yeah, I think that'd be a nice little class.